Welcome back to Klepper's Corner, where we recap the week's biggest stories, give them a little spin, and send them off to wherever Sean Spicer went. Let's dive in. Political news, Trump's cabinet of, well, you know, the Senate confirmed two key members of Trump's administration this week, Sean Duffy as transportation secretary, because nothing says expert on infrastructure like a former reality TV star who once lived in a house with 7 strangers on MTV's The Real World. Scott Bessent as Treasury Secretary, a hedge fund guy, because when your job is to manage America's money, it makes perfect sense to hire someone whose previous job was betting against the economy. But hey, this is the same administration that once let Ben Carson run housing and urban development because he had once lived in a house. So I guess this checks out. Meanwhile, a federal judge temporarily halted Trump's plan to freeze federal grants and loans. Trump, of course, reacted the way he always does by furiously posting in all caps on whatever social media site he hasn't been banned from yet. Unfair, so mean, sad, I'm doing great things, but the deep state wants me to fail. Executive power, folks, it's like monopoly rules. If you land on free parking, you still get nothing. Second, international relations. Nobody wants these flights. The U.S. tried to deport people to Colombia, and Colombia essentially responded, LOL, nah. Then Mexico followed suit by refusing to accept a U.S. deportation flight. At this point, Trump's immigration policies are like a bad Tinder date. He keeps swiping right on deportation, but nobody wants to go home with him. Somewhere in Mar-a-Lago, Trump is pacing back and forth, ranting about how it used to be so easy to get rid of people. Maybe that's because back in the day, people wanted to leave America. 3, economic news. China's AI just wrecked Wall Street. Tech stocks took a nosedive this week because China has developed an AI system called DeepSeek, which sounds more like a James Bond villain than a stock market disruptor. But here we are. Investors panicked, selling off stocks like they were tickets to a Rudy Giuliani stand-up special. Meanwhile, AT&T reported strong fourth quarter profits because, let's be real, no matter how bad the economy gets, Americans will always need internet cell service and an endless supply of scam calls from the IRS. So fourth, disasters and safety. When everything goes wrong at once, Mahakumbh Festival tragedy. A stampede at India's Mahakumbh Festival resulted in 30 deaths. On a tragic reminder that sometimes too many people in one place is a really bad idea, something that also applies to Florida during spring break. Mid-air collision in D.C., a Black Hawk helicopter collided with an American Airlines jet, which is just the kind of headline you never want to see. President Trump, of course, took this as an opportunity to blame former administrations for his current administration's problems. Folks, terrible safety standards. Obama did this. Maybe even crooked Hillary. Who knows? Meanwhile, actual aviation experts are like, sir, air traffic control has rules. These are not golf carts. You can't just point fingers at the last guy and expect planes to move around like pieces on a Monopoly board. 5, entertainment, streaming wins, and band breakups. Guru Randhawa hit 14 billion streams on YouTube. That's billion with a B. If each stream were $1, he could personally fund Twitter for 6 more months before Elon Musk bankrupts it again. Coin breaks up. Indie pop band COIN has officially disbanded, citing troubling behavior. Apparently, this was a shock to fans, but let's be honest, bands breaking up is as predictable as Kanye saying something weird on the internet. The only thing that truly never breaks up? The Rolling Stones. Scientists will discover the cure to aging, and somehow Mick Jagger will have already found it. 6, environmental concerns. Disaster insurance is just a scam. Now, experts are warning that climate change is making disaster insurance unaffordable, which is great news for insurance companies who are already famous for denying coverage. Oh, your house got hit by a hurricane? Not covered. A wildfire burned down your town? Not covered. A light breeze knocked over your mailbox. Sorry, that's pre-existing damage. At this point, the only disaster your insurance actually covers is paying for more insurance. 7, sports Arsenal fans are ready to riot over in English soccer. Arsenal fans are furious because the club did absolutely nothing in the January transfer window. They need strikers, they need midfielders, they need hope. Instead, Arsenal executives looked at the squad and said, yeah, we'll just ride this out. Arsenal fans now have two choices: accept mediocrity or storm the club headquarters with pitchforks. Odds on which will happen first? 50-50. Final thoughts? Another week of chaos. So, to recap, Trump is appointing reality TV stars to run America. No country wants to take U.S. deportation flights. China's AI is coming for Wall Street's lunch. Disaster insurance is now just a suggestion. And Arsenal fans have officially hit write angry letters mode. Join us next time on Klepper's Corner, where we find out if Sean Duffy actually knows how traffic works, if AI can replace Congress. Spoiler, it's probably an upgrade, and if Trump will finally take responsibility for something. Spoiler, absolutely not. Until then, stay safe, stay informed, and remember, if your insurance company tells you everything's fine, just assume your house is already on fire.